as far as I'm concerned, music is music. I don't look at it as rock, R&B, all that kind of stuff. I just look at it as music, you know. But I feel sorry for anybody who only listens to one form of music.
Unsigned, you're listening to the Freeza Block Show. Local, milehighunderground.com. Unsigned, local artists, unsigned artists. Music you may have never heard before, music you'll want to hear again. All right here on the Freeza Block Show.
Welcome in. It is the Freeza Block Show, so very happy to have everybody listening in and alongside. Great show today we've got lined up. We have 21 Taurus. We have the fellas on in here, and we got some brand new music for everybody, some exclusive stuff. So hang on. We are getting into it right now. 21 Taurus, how you doing, guys? Everybody say hello.
Hello.
All right, yeah, go ahead and speak on into the mic if you would. All right, man. We have Julian.
Hello there, friends.
We have James, and the other two guys, I can't remember their names, man. I'm so sorry, man.
So, there's no point in remembering my name. Everybody just calls me Orange Joe.
Orange Joe, that's right. And what do you do with the band? Oh, go ahead. We'll go ahead and talk to the drummer first.
I play the bass guitar.
Yeah, and you eat during the we're not supposed to be eating in here, dude. No, it's all good, man. We'll get it straightened out, man. Indeed. And Randy, James, indeed. I call you Randy Rhodes, right?
Yes, sir. That's the one and only.
Yes, indeed. And James, now you're gonna mess me up for the rest of this damn interview. James, you play the guitar and you play it really well, man.
I do.
Great stuff.
A person on the street.
Indeed. And 21 Taurus and then who we got here in the middle, man?
I'm Alec. I'm the drummer.
Alec, one of the best drummers ever in the state of Colorado. He's going to say he denies it, but I'm telling you what, the guy can kill it, man. You are absolutely a monster, an animal on the drums, man. I'm going to definitely give you shouts out on the deal. And Julian Volko, right? Is that how you pronounce your name? Indeed. Julian, one of the best vocalists for what you guys do, man. Definitely. Indeed. It is 21 Taurus, man. Awesome. First time I saw you guys, it was out at Herman's Hideaway last year, and you guys were doing a show. I can't remember who you guys were with, but I was so impressed with your talent level and what you guys were doing, man. I had to go check you guys out again. Saw you with my kids down at Dee's Tavern, and you guys blew the doors off of that place. It was cool because that was a nice Sunday afternoon deal. I don't know if you remember that or not, but I'm sure you guys have done a few of those because you guys are pretty much like the house band at Dee's. Is that how that works, or
this guy is?
I with my dad. He's also a musician. He's been playing for 40-some years, and me and him and a few of his friends get together every Tuesday, and we host a open jam down there. I'm pretty much down there every week. I know the people down there very well. I know the owner very well. And so do these guys. They talk to him from time to time.
Right.
That's kind of how we got the gig at Dee's, was through me and my dad going to the open jam that was there. The one that was there got closed. We started doing it, and then we started playing there.
Awesome, man. And are you guys looking forward to playing a lot more different places around town and starting to, kind of do some stuff outside of the box, I guess, if you would?
Yeah, we have a promise that we may be playing at the Black Sheep in Colorado Springs, but no word on that yet. But
not yet, man, but it is coming. Indeed. Good stuff. And of course, hey, folks, don't forget about that bell, man. Go ahead and break it out right now. That bell is for a hit or a shot. It doesn't necessarily have to be weed or alcohol, but just a little bit of something to get you right on through the day or your life, or even when we make a good point. So go ahead, you owe us two. Get it started. Yes, indeed. It is the Freeza Block Show. We have 21 Taurus in the building, man. Good stuff, man. You guys have been doing a lot of new production work, a lot of new music coming out, man. Tell us a little bit about what you've been doing, man.
Yeah, well, so we currently working on an EP. We're hoping to release it within this month. We have 3 tracks ready to go that we've all done ourselves and with our manager, Jim Boyd. A little shout out to him.
Shouts out to Jim Boyd.
There you go. He's helping us mix and master, and he's our own producer. So we've got these 3 tracks that we're working on, and then eventually the album we'll follow that, and that'll be our sophomore effort, and it's very different. So.
Yeah, is it going to be a lot different or a little bit different?
I think so. It's kind of building on a lot of the same aspects of the first, but just more advanced songwriting, and we all know each other better, so everything is just, I don't know, it just feels a lot more tight too.
Yeah,
I enjoy it.
Well, you know what? And we never really got around to my first question, and I always like to ask every band because, you know, a lot of times there's folks that are listening and watching for the first time, have never heard of you guys. What kind of music is it? You know, kind of break it down a little bit.
Like hard rock, slash.
It's tough to kind of.
I don't know. We've been categorized as alternative rock, metal, grunge, punk.
And that's the thing too, to never. I really pride myself on being in a band where we don't really have those sort of boxes. We can release any sort of song, and you should expect that from us. But so far, what we've released has been pretty straightforward, just some rock. But I know this upcoming album and some future stuff, we've got all kinds of stuff coming out.
Yeah, I personally think that this album blows Seize the Ocean out of the water completely. Like, I feel like our songwriting has improved incredibly.
Now, how so? I mean, tell us a little bit about what has improved in your mind, and you know what's different coming into doing the second deal.
I mean, excuse me. Probably the biggest difference from Seize the Ocean to this new sophomore album is that Julian actually was not even in the band for when we wrote a good chunk of the songs on the first album. He was
really.
It was just the four instrumentalists in the band, and now that he's joined, it's kind of helped shape the songs into like kind of a freer, looser, more varied set of tracks that are kind of encompassing a whole lot of stuff. Like, we got this one very floaty, ambient, like folky type tune. And then we got one that's like basically a straight Sabbath worship. It's like kneeling at the altar of Iommi, you know? And it's one of those things where having a fifth perspective in there, it's like having the fourth harmony in your barbershop quartet. It adds just that extra beautiful something that wouldn't be there if, you know, Julian wasn't there. And I think that's really what the biggest difference that people are going to notice. People are going to hear it and they're going to be like, oh, this sounds like the same band, but they've just stepped everything up.
They stepped it up. Indeed. It's 21 Taurus. And you guys, you know, since you put up Seize the Ocean, great music on there. I like it. The styles really kick ass. You know, I mean, I like the fact that it's a lot of people, like you said, they might say it might be alternative or indie. I think it's a lot kind of like a throwback to some, I guess, some hard 70s style music, you know, some real good classic rock, man. And what really lends me to think that is the way that you sing, Julian. I love your vocals, your voice, man. You really, you bring a different dynamic to, you know, to the show. That, you know, you're not a screecher. You're not a, you know, tell us a little bit about that vocal style and, you know, how you're developing it and how it might be changing with this new CD that you guys are putting out.
Well, thanks. No, I appreciate that. It's just the way I sing now is kind of based on what we're writing too. And just the music kind of forms, it allows me to sing more freely and to do other things as well. Also, with age, you know, you kind of get a little bit more, I don't know. I've also been listening to a lot more 70s music lately, so that's really opening up like the ways I sing too. And I know that I'm just so excited for some of these new songs. I can't even.
Good stuff. And well, let's talk about, you know, I mean, you talk a lot about maybe your vocals and stuff like that. And I think the word you're looking for is seasoned. You're trying to get that seasoned vocal tone to your voice. Yeah. You know, like an old man, you know, you're not in your 50s or 40s. So, you know, it's still growing. Yeah. And you're still, I mean, tell us, I mean, do you smoke? Do you drink a lot? I mean,
not really, no.
How do you kind of condition yourself?
Well, no, I have a vocal coach that's been helping me a lot, and it's really helped because early on I really didn't know what I was doing as much. I was just able to kind of get away with my own way of singing, but after each show I was having a lot of pain, and with the help of a vocal coach I've really learned a lot more breathing techniques, and it's really opened up the ways I can sing too.
Tell us about the pain. Was it more of like your lungs and throat?
It was full on,
was it just your whole
throat
body?
pain. It would hurt I really didn't want to talk after a show. I mean, and occasionally it still happens. Like, I just don't even want to say anything.
And then you come off like a real prick. You know?
Exactly.
I mean, everybody's like, oh,
It's a
that
bad-
guy's kind of.
Yeah, it looks bad, and it's just like, no, I'm in pain. I can't talk. Yeah, no, there's just,
no, I hear you, man.
especially after we only play like, this is after sets where we're playing 45 an hour, and there's guys doing it 2.5 hours. So I was like, all right, something's got to change because this is not going to hold up very long.
Yeah. So tell us a little bit about maybe something that you might have changed or that you're working on right now.
Yeah, just really breathing from the diaphragm, and that's really helped. Just taking the stress off the throat, because it's really a lot less pushing it out than it is, or it's a lot more pulling it in as it is pushing it out. And I feel like that's really what's helped. I drink a ton of water. I'm sure you've seen me with my gallon.
Yeah, you got to have it.
I got it. Yeah,
I know that some of these guys like to think that it's vodka, but
Yeah, you go.
hey, you know what? Let's just say it is vodka.
Yeah,
You got to keep that persona up, man. So you got your big jug of vodka with you, and you're hydrating constantly. Yeah.
No, for sure. On stage, that's all I have. I don't drink any water. But at home is what I take with me. Yes.
Yeah, that's good stuff, man. Indeed. Well, let's get right on into this music we've been talking about. New stuff from 21 Taurus. We do have 21 Taurus in the building. We have Julian and Mike and Jim. No, I'm sorry. We got James and I forgot your name already, man. I don't have it written down as a problem.
I have no name.
That's you never told me the name.
You give
That's
me a
the
name.
problem.
You give me a name.
That's St. James.
Jimmy over
Oh,
here.
Jimmy. That's right. Everybody loves when people say that. Do the Jimmy thing,
Jimmy.
right?
Then we got Alec on drums.
And Alec. All right, man. I'm going to remember that, man. Alec, by the way.
Special shout out to our 5th member, Austin. He's not here right now. He had to work.
He's actually at the bar.
We had a rough show last night. Yeah, we're all. Yeah.
Did you guys really perform
No.
last night? Oh, you just
We're
pulling
old.
my chain.
We're
good,
old.
Good stuff, man. Well, all right, man. This stuff again is brand new. You guys say it's an exclusive, right? It's a brand new.
Never before been heard by anyone but us. So
All right, so here we go.
Freeza Block Network. World Freeza Block. The Freeza Block Network. World Underground. Freeza Block Exclusive. Exclusive. World premiere. Only on the Freeza Block Network. Exclusive.
They say what you've done. It's hard to forgive. Playtime was fun. Now your life is over with. They swear you're lying. As your corner's crying. There's only one way this will end. They say it's all your fault. You're not responsible. They say you are. They say you are. They say you are. They say that you are. They've made up their mind. You're going away. Time to say your goodbyes. Your love can only pray. Don't take his life. You can have mine, but love won't get in their way. They say it's all your fault. You're irresponsible. They say you are. They say you are. They say you are. Say that you are. Hope it was worth it.
king of life, taking control. He should be alive, but you don't care to know. Why have you done this? The days of his young will be spent alone, thinking of their father. What you said he's done, you swear you've done right. Never restless at night, claim that you live free or spite. They say you are. 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 They say you are.
15 minutes. 15 minutes, a brand new song. You know, I know you guys were telling me during the song that you guys still have a few bugs to work out on it, but to me it sounded great, man. Awesome stuff, man. And I love it, man. It was good, good. So tell us a little bit about what you guys are going to be doing to this song, or what.
Sure. Yeah, it's just really raw right now. It still needs to be mixed and mastered, and there might be a few things added here and there, but for the most part, that's pretty much it for the EP. This is all like a home production too. And then I think once we go for the album, we're going to try definitely kind of coming at it from a different approach and then seeing what we can really add.
I like the style though, the music. It sounds really nice and smooth, man. And you know what I'm saying, is the kind of a melody that stick in your head. You know,
for sure.
When you're in your car, when you're at work or whatever like that. I like that, man. That you guys are doing that. I like it also, Julian, that you were. I was asking you during the song, was that you doing the highs on the vocals, the high end vocals too, man? And you said, yeah, it was. And I was also asking, well, what. And tell us a little bit how you guys are going to approach that during a live show.
For sure. Well, we're actually going to have a full-on orchestra and a full-on church choir.
Nice. I'll be doing the highs. I'll be using vice grips. So
yeah. Vice grips and a helium balloon, right?
Yes.
Oh yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
I don't know. We'll definitely have to mess with something.
That's good though, man. I like that you're thinking about it at least, man.
Definitely.
Awesome. Tell us, we do have 21 Tars in the building. It is Julian, it is Alec, James, and Jimmy. Yes, indeed. And we're missing one guy here. We are missing Austin, indeed. Love Austin, man. He's a real rock and roller. Love the way he goes back and forth with you on a lot of because he's not just the rhythm guy. He's I guess he trades some leads off with you guys as well, man. Tell us a little bit about that and how you guys really kind of try to focus on getting that sound guy to get you guys to sound the same.
Well, personally, I feel like rhythm can get boring at times, so I want to spice up his performance a little bit so that way he can have some of the glory too. Right. I feel like I kind of hog it all the time. But yeah, I mean, I think I feel like there should be a balance between the rhythm and the lead,
Also, they play very different styles, so it's really nice having that mix of back and forth, almost like you're the shredder.
Yeah, I go off by like a lot of 80s guitarists and etc. And Austin, he kind of goes more the Clapton meets Tony Iommi kind of style.
Right.
Like a slow hand style kind of style.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But it's cool. And if you've ever checked these guys out live, 21 Tars, indeed, you can check out when they switch off like that, and it sounds really kick-ass. I love when you guys do that, man.
We have a show coming up.
Yeah, I was just going to say, let's promote that show. Let's tell everybody where they can see you guys live. It's going to be a Halloween show. It sounds freaking fun.
So it is
freaking fun.
It's going to yes. We will be playing at Moe's Original Barbecue on Broadway on October 28th with Sharon and the Wind. It's a costume party, so whoever has the best costume wins a $100 gift card to Moe's Barbecue.
Nice, and you know you're going to spend that $100 on the brisket and a couple of beers, man. And you guys love the brisket down there at Moe's, do you not?
Oh, it's some of the best barbecue I've eaten in town.
There you go, man. Indeed, indeed. Julian, you said you were going to say something.
Yeah. Another thing I'd like to say about the show is we are giving out free copies of the demo. We're going to have some actually the EP should be ready by then, and we'll be giving them out. Anybody who comes out to the show, if you come up to us, we'll give it
to you
CD.
for free.
Check it out.
No code word or anything like that. Just come on up. Hey,
just
give me one of them.
Preferably wear a costume. I mean, that's really the caveat for that.
Hey,
well, I'm ugly enough. I don't have to wear any kind of costume, so it's all good.
So, I mean,
you know how it is. That the girl just walked by, threw up a little bit in her mouth when she walked by.
Actually, a little fun fact.
Can they hear us out there?
Yeah, they sure can.
Oh, hell yeah.
Little fun fact.
So yeah, say hi.
Hi.
That's awesome.
Little fun fact is this EP is actually going to be mixed by Josh Cal from Stereo Shifter.
Oh, nice. And we love Stereo Shifter.
So shout out to Stereo Shifter.
Indeed, man. Those guys are so good. And, man, and it's really fun to play down at Moe's, man. And I've been there for plenty shows. And like I said, I always get the brisket. And but the salted pickles, it was a little bit too much salt. A little bit too much salt.
I love that stuff.
I mean, you have to have 3 or 4 beers.
Yeah, right?
That's a good point.
I'm trying to wedge that laugh track in there somehow.
You just need a button that cues it right up.
I'm trying to, man. Instantly.
You should take the guts out of like a Staples Easy button and just like smash that whenever you want the laugh track.
No doubt. Indeed. The guys that we're laughing with, it's 21 Tyrus in the building. Indeed. So many people have asked me, because I've told everybody that 21 Tyrus is going to be in here, and we've covered it before, but hey, you know what? Why not talk about it again?
Sure.
How do you get that darn name? What does it mean?
Oh, yeah. Okay.
And I know. Everybody asks.
Yeah, that's cool.
It's a double. I've done it before, but
that's all right. Yeah, everyone, also the pronunciation of it, everyone gets Taras out of it, but I mean that's cool too. It's Taras though, and where it comes from it's Buddhist, and Tara is the female form of Buddha. They have 21 different forms. Not to bore you, I'll keep it short, but basically they use the Taras as self-enlightenment and self-empowerment, and that's kind of how we use it through our music. We try to better ourselves and just see how much we can really push ourselves with each song we write or each lyric I write, and that sort of thing. It just really shows you what you're made of. So I really gravitated towards that name.
Nice, man. And I like that nobody really else has that name. You put it up on the Facebook or on the Google, and
I kind of forced them to use it. So.
And did you guys?
Thanks, guys.
Well, I mean, what did you have any other names that you thought might use?
Yeah, it was a long process.
I mean, we did. We started off as Keep Calm, and then we transitioned over into Holy Crimes. And then I wanted to call us God's Revolver, and then Julian was like, "Hey, how about we try something that actually has meaning to it and doesn't just sound cool?"
Well, yeah, sure.
There you go.
And I heard it at first, and I was like, basic.
Were you guys now seriously? Were you guys like thinking 21 Tars? Now here we go again with the 21. We got 21 Pilots, 21 this, 20. 21 Jump Street. Did you guys think that
I didn't
sometimes
honestly
you were
think of at the time? It's something that just I didn't. It came way later when it was too late to change it. So then we were just like, well, damn. But,
I feel like there was a lot of bands in the 90s that had numbers in them, like
Sum
41 and
right,
for sure.
Blink 182, all those dudes. So
they're long gone now.
Yeah. Well, there you go.
Old and saggy.
Indeed, it is 21 Taurus in the building. It is Jimmy, James, Alec, and Julian. They are 21 Terrace. They will be at Moe's Barbecue on the 30th. Is that again?
28th.
28th, man. I swear
Saturday.
to God. I am worthless without a pen, man. Indeed, indeed. So good stuff from them. They have been cool enough to bring us some brand new music, some stuff that they've been working on. Tell us a little bit about what you guys have, how long you guys have been working on this, and
Well, this particular song, are you playing Happy next?
Sure, yeah.
This particular song we've actually been working on for almost 2 years now. It's been in the vault for a minute.
Yeah.
It actually originated out of just a little actually a pretty decent amount of our songs originate from like just a noodle that one of us is playing, and then one of us will latch onto it and we'll build onto it, and before we know it, we've got a full song.
Mm-hmm.
This one kind of grew out of the riff that you'll hear actually at the very beginning, the little strummed open chords. That came from Austin was just goofing around playing like an A major shape all up and down the neck, and we were like, oh dude, we should put that in a song, and then we worked on it, and it became probably actually one of my favorite songs of ours. And well, we're gonna hear it now, and shout out to Austin. He intros this song on the album, dude.
No doubt about it.
We are thinking this will be the first track too on the album itself. So.
Awesome. This song is called Happy. It's 21 Taras. It's 21 Taras in the building. This song is called Happy. It's an exclusive. Listen in. You'll love it.
I can see you circling like a shark in a great white setting. The question is just what are you on tonight? Come a long ways to do this to me, but what makes you think I care what you say? Time to give the dog its bite. I see you standing there, yet there's no time to spare. Let's get that yearning face in style. No more feelings of grief. I'm burning bay leaves. I wanna see that burning face for miles. Whoa, no. I do wonder where you've been. It's not the kind of state I'm in. I'll just focus on today. It's beauty and being, that's all just being proud of oneself and of me. Nothing will get in my way. Your face was filled with fear and even more with tears, but yet I wear the biggest smile. Can't seem to make it clear that you're no longer here. I wanna see that burning face for miles. Whoa, been on wild. I still feel a child. Whoa, whoa, but I made the line. Can't cross what is mine. I'm a person here, not living fear. Don't wanna see you for anything. I'm falling in hell, this once again. Since I have seen
Fantastic stuff. 21 Taurus. That song was called Happy. We have them right on in here. It's Julian, Alec, James, and Jimmy. Jimmy was talking to us during the song a little bit about James's guitar solo in that. And by the way, James, that guitar solo really did rip, dude. It was bomb, dude. Bomb. Woo! Tell us a little bit about how you guys went about it, and then we'll talk to you about both back and forth a little bit.
Well, as I said during the song, that's probably my favorite solo of James, is because it's still got the signature James, like shreddy 80s style, just 100 notes per minute type thing. But he's also it's got such an incredible grasp of melody, and it's one of those really great solos that like tells a story within the story of the rest of the song, and that's kind of where the best guitar solos always come from. I always go back to Iron Maiden, man. If you ever listen to 2 Minutes to Midnight, the guitar solo in that song really does it takes a song in a different direction and tells a different story, and that's really how that solo just fits so freaking perfectly into Happy, because without the solo, it's just like, it's just a good, like,
it's just a regular song.
It's just a good old rock track.
Yeah.
Then the solo, and you're like, oh,
yeah,
okay.
It takes it to another level. Indeed. Tell us a little bit about, you're digging the melody, and does it just come to you, man? Or I mean, and is it something that you repeat like in a live show, or do you kind of go off on your own in a little bit of a difference,
Well, I like the guitar. I really, I try to mix up my solos for every song. I try not to play the same thing twice.
He's broken.
I broke Jimmy. You can't break something that's already been broken.
That's true.
Oh, God. Jimmy's trying to hang, man. It's all right, brother.
But I try to keep the solos different for each song. I try to mix it up a little bit. In this particular solo, you can hear in some parts it's actually doubled and then tripled in certain spots, and so you kind of almost get that Randy Rhoads kind of feel, because you got one straight in the center and two on the left and right. So it really gives it that kind of Randy Rhoads sound in the mix.
Is that something that you created, that you produced, or
it was me. It would be me and Jim Boyd, our producer. Once again, shout out to Jim.
Shouts out to Jim
and
Boyd.
Jim Boyd, yes.
Indeed.
Yeah, we kind of collaborated together on it. Like I say, I have Randy Rhoads in my Facebook name, so
right.
I try to go off, because
he's messing me up with that too. By the way,
I know,
James.
I'm Randy.
I'm Randy, that's great.
So I try to manipulate kind of his sound into my own work. Not stealing it in a sense, but
taking that style and making it your
absolutely
own.
correct,
No doubt about it, man. 21 Taurus in the building. We have Julian, Alec, James, and Jimmy. Indeed, man. Jimmy plays bass. Jimmy, tell us a little bit about your playing bass, man. How do you like, trying to hold this crew down with the backbone action?
I mean, honestly, it's really not that difficult. I mean, we've got Alec obviously on drums, and that kid is. Actually,
we will get to you.
Yeah, we will get to you. Yeah, it was actually after, I think we were recording. I forget which song it was recorded. We might have just been doing overdubs, but myself and our producer Jim Boyd, aka Jimbo, as we all call him and have called him for ages now. He and I were just up talking in his kitchen, because we're recording the EP in his basement. I don't know if we've mentioned that. We're recording the EP literally in the dude's basement.
Right.
But yeah, we were upstairs just, shooting the breeze. And he was like, man, that kid is like the actual reincarnation of John Bonham. And I'm like, well, I don't know.
See, man, we're all putting him over. He's like, no, man.
We were thinking about it. Well, let's think about it. Bonham died in 1980. You were born in 98, right? Yeah. So he just floated around for about 18 years, and he was like, that kid, I'm going to be reincarnated into that kid.
No doubt. Let's talk a little bit to Alec. Indeed. Is Alex not Alec or Alex, man?
Nice.
Oh, man.
Broke it.
Yeah, you did.
It's Alec.
You know what? Let's use that
that's
one.
almost
It might
easier.
be easier. or put them both in his mouth like a bad movie. I'm
I'm
sorry.
in stereo.
Yeah, there you go, man.
I'm in stereo apparently.
Yeah, that sounds good though, man. I like it. Just speak up a little bit, and then we're good,
All right.
man. And Alec, indeed, man. And what we were talking about, and I've seen it a couple times, man, is this kid can put over Moby Dick. And you know, it's funny. He says no and all that stuff, but I'm telling you what, I've brought friends to the shows, and we've all seen them, and it's just amazing what you can do. You go ahead, and I understand, man. Be humble, and I get it, man. You're young, and there's a lot more to learn and all that good stuff, man. But I'm telling you what, tell us about all the hard work that goes into what you do, how you got to be where you're at, and all that, man. I mean, starting as like a kid and all that. You know what I mean?
All the way back when my mom was pregnant with me, my dad's been playing in a band called the Woodies for 25 years. And the drummer in that band, I've been listening to him for 19, 20 years now.
Okay.
So,
And were you playing drums in the womb? I mean, were you born with the stick?
yeah, my dad makes a joke. I've been playing drums since the second trimester.
No doubt about it. And no, the way you play, it's almost as if you have practiced like that. So you were born into a family of musicians and music and stuff like that.
Yeah, and you know, it's like my dad was a guitarist, and in my eyes, that was like, want to play guitar. But when it came down to it, when I went to shows, it was more mesmerizing to sit behind the drummer and watch him work compared to watch the guitarist work. And I think that's really what sparked my interest. And then my dad bought me a first act kit when I was 3.
Okay.
And the engineer in me took over before the drummer in me took over. I disassembled that kit like the minute I got it, and I tried to put it back together, failed at that, so it sat in a corner for 3 years. And then
Till you were 6, right? And then we pulled it out again?
No. And then when I was 6, my grandmother was out at a garage sale, and there was a stack of drums and cymbals sitting in the corner. And they wanted $350 for that entire drum kit. And that was my first real drum kit. And I got it, and I played it on and off for a little while, and this here, this there. I played a lot of hand percussion stuff because my dad's band, the Woodies, that was just what was available at the time to play. So a lot of hand percussions were there in my bloodstream. And then when I was 11, my dad and Jim Boyd, our manager and producer, known each other since high school for 30, 35 years now.
Yeah.
And they got together and they started jamming. Well, I went over to his house because Bob Boyd, Jim Boyd's brother, was the drummer, and he brought his kids over. So it was just kind of like a fun time. There was a PlayStation 3. We sat, we played games, and it was just that kind of a thing. It was more a kid's mentality.
Yeah. Just
and then
fun.
after a little while, the kids stopped coming, so I was by myself. So instead of being upstairs where the PlayStation 3 was, I was downstairs listening to the music.
Okay.
And then when they went to go take breaks, I jumped in the drum room and played for 20 minutes before they came back. And then before you know it, Bob Boyd couldn't make it anymore, and they're like, let's have Alex sit in for him. And that was probably one of the best parts of me playing drums, because without that point right then and there, I probably wouldn't be as good as I am right now.
Wow, that's good stuff, man. And you've been kind of doing it ever since. You've been going. Now this is a little bit of a different band because you guys have known each other for a long time. A lot of the bands that we have in here are Craigslist, mixes and stuff like that. And I'm sure there's a little bit of this in here, but it's really, you two guys have known each other since you were kids, right?
Yeah. So me and Alec go back to the dinosaur age, kind of. We
way back
met,
into the 90s.
Back in the 90s. Not that far, not that long, but I don't know. We met.
That's the reptar.
Yeah, right. No, we met in grade school. I thought the kid was kind of weird, just was always kind of by himself, just listening to music and stuff,
Right.
And I didn't think much of it, and I was trying to get a band together with one of my other buddies, and then they suggested, oh, well, we got this guy, Alec. I'm like, I don't know. That guy doesn't seem very cool enough to be in a band. I mean, I don't know if I want him in my band. And so, yeah, so kind of being a dick to I had a big ego, I guess. And anyway, kind of the rest is history, We've kind of become really good friends over the years.
Well, I mean, what happened? Did you just finally say, well, all right, we'll let him in? Or, did you play for him? Or how did that work?
from what I remember showing up the first time. I borrowed my dad's entire bass rig, his Fender J bass and his big Ampeg stack. And we show up to this guy's garage and we're rehearsing in his garage. And I remember, I think what really caught everybody else's interest that I could play a lot of Zeppelin tunes lick for lick on bass.
Yeah.
And I think that's kind of what impressed some of those guys. And some of those guys were just thought it was cool that I could play certain licks and certain things on the bass.
Right. Well, that's always cool, especially when you're starting out.
Yeah,
you know?
I really think it really like he's a good bass player. You know, he's obviously because he's a drummer. You know,
he's no
got good,
Jimmy, but he's good enough.
But you know, it was when
it
was when he started playing drums that really kind of caught my eye. You know, it's like he's doing all these crazy triplets, and it's just like something like I haven't heard from other drummers. 'Cause, you know, I've gone to like other small local shows with these drummers, and they do great stuff. But you know, Alec puts it all on a whole new level. You know,
he really does, man. And Alec, tell us a little bit about you did tell us about the history and stuff. But I mean, I want to know about the work that you put in. You know what I'm saying? Because I think a lot of people that listen to the show or whatever, they think that it's just really easy for you. And you just sat in there and played a few times and just got it. Obviously there was lessons, or you were learning on your own, or tell us a little bit about the hard part, the unglorious, the unglamorous part that everybody never gets to hear.
Well, here's the thing that I learned the most. When you listen to the band, when you play music, you can't do anything wrong. If you follow the band, you cannot fuck up. You can't.
There you go. You can't. And
I've been through School of Rock. I've been through multiple. I went to Rupp's Drums to have lessons. School of Rock to have lessons. School of Rock was kind of fun because we got to get up and play and all that kind of stuff. But it was just, I don't know. It just didn't click with me until I kind of met James and we started playing our own stuff. And then it kind of started clicking with me a lot more. And then I started playing a lot more. I started practicing. I started doing all sorts of things I wasn't doing before because it just didn't seem interesting at the time. And now it's like everything. If I'm not working or playing video games, I'm most likely playing some form of music.
No, that's good. And it's not just drums. You don't just sit behind a drum kit all the time. You're doing all kinds of other stuff.
Yeah.
Now, growing up in the family and stuff, I guess you don't have to learn music theory through a school, but you probably learned through your father or just on your own. Tell us a little bit about that.
My father, basically, he grew up in the 70s, and a lot of those guys learned by ear. And that's what I implement when I learn a lot now. I do a lot by ear, but I understand the theory behind it, which helps immensely when you jump up on stage. Say, like the last week I jumped up on stage and they needed a little bit of a funk bass player, and they were like, it's E minor to da 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 da, and just follow along as best as you can. And knowing that theory really helps. Now my dad knows the neck and he knows how to play and he knows all this stuff, but if you put a sheet of paper in front of him, he's all like, I can connect the dots.
You know, and the other thing is, it's like when Alec was doing drums before I met him, a lot of his musical taste was like ZZ Top and more the blues type of thing. And then I come in and I start giving him all these heavy metal bands and like just crazy stuff. So it gave him a new challenge because a lot of that stuff that I was showing him, was a whole new aspect of learning how to play drums like that.
Yes.
So I feel like I also kind of helped him with that,
Nice. And also, I mean, James, let's talk a little bit about your, a lot of practice, a lot of work. You didn't just pick it up and start playing and be as good as you are without, doing all that work, man. I mean, and I really want to put this point forward because I really think a lot of people don't think that there's, that I guess they think it's easy is what I'm trying to say. And everybody to a man says, no, it's not.
It's not. It really isn't. When I was growing up, I started really getting into guitar in middle school when I met Alec. But, I came from a kind of a broken home, per se. I won't go into that. That's another sad story. But, I'd come home from school, and as soon as I get home, I would start playing, and I would do it till I go to bed. I'd do that for months on end. And, after a while, I kind of started seeing the skills. You know, I'd listen to Stevie Ray Vaughan and Randy Rhoads, Tony Iommi, etc., and it started to build. You know, the most important thing I can say is just practice. You know, because if you don't practice, you're gonna suck. You know?
There you go.
You
There
know?
you go, ladies and gentlemen. That's exactly what I want to hear. Indeed, indeed. It's 21 Taurus, hard-working band. It's Julian, Alec, James, and Jimmy. And, of course, we're missing Austin. Indeed, indeed. They're going to be at Moe's on the 28th. Make sure to check it out. It's a Halloween costume party. They're going to be giving it away, their music. Just come up and ask us. Don't be afraid to talk to the guys. If Julian doesn't talk to you, it's just because his throat's sore. He is not a jerk. He really is a great guy, man. They brought us one more song. This one is called Sold Out. Let's talk and listen to it, and tell us a little bit about this bad boy.
All right. Oh, I thought we started.
No, I want to hear a little bit about the song first, and then we'll play it, man.
All right, this one's so Soul Out. That's this one, man. That's another one we've had for a minute. We've had how long? I don't know. We've been working on it for a while. It's one of our longer tracks. This one's fun. It's kind of just a free form. I don't know how else would you describe
song,
it. It's kind of a jam that we
This is
put
like
together in a structure.
This started out as like a 25-minute jam, didn't it?
Yeah.
And then you guys just kind of like, we need to cut it right
We
on
cut it down
down
to 24, and then we cut it down to 7. Yeah.
Then they have 21. It stops right there.
There you
You
go.
know, that should be like
yeah.
the gig. You know, like your little gimmick. Every song is 21 minutes.
Oh, there you go. I'm sure that'd get real sick of that.
Great play,
Yeah,
man.
I mean,
Great
we're not a funeral doom band, so it would be hard for us to pull it off. You know,
No, I hear ya.
playing at the tempos we do.
no kidding. You'd be tired out in no time.
Oh yeah.
This song is called Sold Out. Is there any meaning behind it? Or
Soul Out is just kind of like a temporary title. A lot of times what happens is we'll come up with temporary titles, just something we can remember it by, and then the name a lot of times end up sticking, and then I kind of implement it into the words a little bit. So that's something you'll hear with this.
Nice. This is new music. It's 21 Taurus. This one is called Sold Out right here. MileHighUnderground.com, The Freeza Block Show.
Days never seem so far away when I'm with you. They are full of life despite not having you. A mere matter of days is all it took. Hearing you say my name and you had me shook. Don't forget to try. Why don't you come on my way? Don't dare be shy. For days I'm on fire. Ain't bad after you gone, I'm away. And I'm tired. It's crack the road that we were on my way. I say, but travel seems so far away. Let my soul out. I'm on fire when I see your face again. Days like today come and go again. Made easier with you, my only friend. Listen to your heart and follow my eyes. One of these days we'll make a sort of compromise. Days counting down till you leave me again. Pray, Mama hasn't been wondering where you've been. They don't know what they're missing, but I tell them. Well, I say, don't dare criticize. Take a step on my highway. Let's go for a ride. Take the top off, baby. Find you, even after you've gone, I'm waiting, and I'm tired. It's quite the road that we were on my way to say, well, baby, won't you please just stay and let your soul out? I'm gonna find you when I see your face again. Wanna say you, darling, wanna save you, darling, wanna make you my girl, make you my
Yes, indeed. 21 Tyrants in the house. That song had just about everything. It had switching dual guitar solos. It had a breakdown on the drums at the end. Julian's kick-ass guitar, and I think I even heard a little bit of some bass in there, man. So, or Julian's kick-ass voice, and and the guitar, the air guitar. I could even hear that in the deal, man. Good stuff, man. Great song. You guys have a real hit there, man. It is good stuff, man. Yeah, and again, we were talking a little bit about, during the song about how you guys switch up. That's the song where you guys do a little bit of a switch up on the leads, you and Austin, and great stuff, man. And you guys played that one live, and I remember that one because you did play it, back and forth, and it was, I thought it was such a cool song. But I loved it. It's that desert rock sound, that hard, just, I don't know, I don't want to say grunge, but it's a bluesy, sound to it, man. Great stuff, man. 21 Tyrants in the building. Make sure you check those guys out. October 28th, it's going to be a Halloween party. They're going to be giving away that song and all the other songs that we heard in here for free. So just come and say hi to the guys, 21 Tyrants. Be dressed in a costume, especially if you're a female. Make sure it's skimpy and sexy. Indeed, indeed. At Moe's Barbecue, make sure to get that brisket as well, man. And there will also be some other songs on that EP that you guys are going to be putting out, or is it
this? Yeah, so for the EP, it's just the 3 tracks actually, and then right, yeah,
it's just the 3 tracks, and then when the actual album comes out, it'll be the album, of course. But there's actually a lot of songs that aren't on this EP that we actually play live. So.
Cool. Yeah. So, all right, man. Good stuff. Make sure, again, to check them out, 21 Terrors. Get on that Facebook page. Give them a thumbing and a liking. Go that right from there. It goes to all the good stuff. Keep it in, Jimmy. You can keep it in.
He's broken again.
Indeed, 21 Tyrants. It's spelled like it sounds. It sounds like it's spelled. And give them some love, man. They have their music on Spotify, on SoundCloud,
iTunes,
anywhere you can, iTunes, anywhere you can find the music,
bullshit.
They have it out there. 21 Tyrants, and of course, again, check them out at Moe's. Good stuff. These guys are super talented. It's a really fun show, and when you go to see them, you'll be just as blown away as I was, man. Great stuff, man. Indeed. I'm gonna kind of just play this song on over what we got here, man. Again, make sure to join us again next week. We will have Pretty Mouth at 6 o'clock and Driven by Turmoil at 8 o'clock. It's a double bill tomorrow. It's going to be really good, so make sure to check that out. MileHighUnderground.com. It is the Freeza Block Show. Everybody have a great weekend. 21 Tyrants, thank you guys again. Fantastic stuff, man. Amazing music. You guys rock. It is so good, man. Indeed. Check them out again. Moe's on the 28th, costume party and free music. You can't beat that, man. All right, man. Check it out next week again. We will be here at 6 o'clock live right here, MileHighUnderground.com. Thanks a lot, fellas. Everybody have a great weekend. Yeah.
They say that you are. They've made up their mind. You're going away. Time to say your goodbyes. Your love can only pray. Don't take his life. You can have mine, but love won't get in their way. They say it's all your fault. You're irresponsible. They say you are. They say you are. They say you are. Say that you are. Hope it was worth it. You're taking a life, taking control. It should be alive, but you don't care to know. Why have you done this? us. The days of his young will be spent alone, thinking of their father. What you said he's done, you swear you've done right. Never restless at night, claim that you live free of spite. They say you are. 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 They say you are.
All right, we're still here. This is the best part of the show, the funnest part of the show, where we like to have our crew that we had in here cut us a promo, and I'll just walk you right on through it, man.
All
Just say your names and then the name of the band. So to you two guys in that mic and you two guys in that mic, and try to pull it off like it's a commercial, like hi.
Hi.
Yeah, there you go. Go ahead. Just give us your names first, then. Okay.
I'm Julian.
I'm Alec.
I'm James.
And I'm Jimmy.
All right,
And I'm Austin.
somebody needs to say, yeah, and I'm Austin, and somebody needs to say, and we're 21 Taras,
We're 21 Taras,
and we're melting it down on the Freeza Block show.
and we're melting it down on the Freeza block.
Mile High Underground. Everybody say milehighunderground.com. 1, 2, 3.
milehighunderground.com.
All right,
Rich.
fellas. Everybody, indeed. Thank you guys so much. You guys rock, man. I'm so excited to have you guys on in here. And indeed, we are back to our regularly scheduled music. Everybody have a great weekend.